Hey everybody, this is Pat. She's from Idaho, and you should see what she makes. Let me show you first, and then we're going to talk to her. Now, what kind of egg is this from?
A duck egg.
A duck egg.
This one is a pigeon. This one is a goose egg. These two are ostrich eggs.
Oh my goodness sake. And that one?
This one is a little quail egg.
Quail. Now, are these the natural shell color, or do you put any kind of strengthener on them or anything?
I paint them with white paint.
White paint.
I want a white egg to show off the gold and the colors.
Okay. Now, where do you get your variety of eggs from?
I started with the ostriches, and I buy goose eggs from, there's an actual egg supplier that I buy duck eggs and goose eggs and stuff from.
And then do you hatch them, or do you just buy them?
I buy them, and they're blown out already, and then I sanitize them.
Okay.
And then I work with them.
I thought maybe you ate them. I didn't know.
No.
Okay. So what kind? You had a farm, didn't you?
Yes, we had the ranch, 5B elk ranch. We had elk, and we cut the antlers off in the velvet and sold them to the Koreans and the Taiwanese. The first time we sold our elk horns, it was $125 a pound. And our big bull cut 11.5 pounds on one side and 10.5 pounds on the other side. So then we had mule deer, antelope, buffalo, ostrich, emu, rhea, Jacob hornhorn sheep, pot-bellied pigs, and fallow deer. We were Bricker's Funny Farm.
Oh no! And how many years did you have that farm?
20 years.
Oh my, that's a lot of work.
It is, and we both had full-time jobs. We had 3 daughters, and we have to irrigate there, so we had to have irrigation equipment that you moved every night and moved the water.
I'm just thinking about how expensive all the feed was for them. You know?
Well, we raised them for the elk and the buffalo and all that. We raised them, but we did have to buy food for the birds. We had to buy, a pellet.
So I heard ostriches can be aggressive. Did you ever get hurt when you took their eggs?
No, because we always had a decoy up one side of the fence.
Like, what do you mean?
That we had opened up a ladder so it would flop over a 6-foot fence. So we'd scurry up one side, down the other, get the egg, and then you'd holler to the decoy and say, "I've got the egg," and then you go back to the house.
So how often does an ostrich lay an egg?
Every other day. And they have a spring, summer, and fall clutch. And our one hen had about 18 or 20 in the spring clutch. And then she'd have 60, 65 in the summer clutch. She laid 113 eggs that year.
I cannot believe that. Really, I never thought it was that much.
Yeah.
Did you ever get hurt when you took an ostrich egg?
No, we were all, they're so big and so powerful. You have to outthink them, which isn't too hard.
Yeah.
Because they have a 1-watt brain.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. So you had antelope too, you said?
Yes. Pronghorn antelope.
And did you name them?
Pepsi and Coke.
I know, and I've been looking.
And I trained them so that they could come up to a bell. I had a little silver bell. And I would jingle it every time I wanted to feed them, and pretty soon they would come to that. Just like you train a dog.
Sure.
Different things.
How about elk? Did you train them?
No, they're complete. Even though they're on a ranch, born on a ranch, they are never domesticated.
Really?
And you have to remember that.
Really? I never knew, because I know there was an elk farm where I was camping one time, and I'm like, really? They would go up to them. You have to be careful with them, though?
Oh, yeah.
Because mine, this is 21
Yeah,
days.
and the really interesting thing about elk is when the young are born, the males are the ones that babysit them during the day. They'll have several of them clumped around, and there'll be 2 or 3 of the males, the bulls, circling the calves.
I didn't know that.
Go to sleep.
So you're telling me about buying a species, figure out
Right.
Okay, I'll see you Wednesday.
how to make it profitable. What was that about?
Well, we sold the velvet elk horns for the elk, and everything that we got on there, you would figure out how to raise. And most of the time, we would go to Macon, Missouri, would be the only place that we could go to an auction to sell something or buy something. So that, from Idaho, that's a long way.
Okay.
So everything, we made sure that it paid its way, made us a little profit. Our
That is
place was
smart.
small enough, we had like 109 acres. And it was too small to run a lot of cows. But you could feed 5 elk for one, would take one domestic cow. And you would get a lot more revenue. You could sell the calves, you could sell the meat and the horn.
So you had a big business going.
Yeah.
You really did. And you worked, you said on the side, you also had a job.
Yeah, I drove UPS and he worked in the mine.
All right, we're going to end this video with a story she had about some keychains. How did that story go? Tell them.
Well, when we got the elk, there were some real nice little horn turds. So I dried them out, then I dipped them in plastic and put keychain tops on them. And my husband said, "You will never sell an elk turd." So I went to cowboy poultry with my aunt, and I took a sagebrush, stuck it in a coffee can, and hung those keychains on it, and sold them for $5 a piece.
And I have 8 kilos.
And I could not wait to get home to tell my husband I had sold those elk turds. So I called it Elk Stone Jewelry.
Oh my goodness. Who would have thought, right? How did you know that was going to be, popular? You just...
I made a cocktail ring out of it and a little necklace.
But what kind of finish did you have to put on it to...
It was a epoxy type stuff.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
dipped it in 10 times. I put a little sewing pin in the end and dipped them and let it dry, dipped it and let it dry so it would be.
Thank you so much for your story. I love your... Are you going to be here next month?
I probably will.
All right. So anybody watching this, if you're in the Quartzsite area, please come by next month at the QIA Craft Show. It's the first Saturday of the month. Thanks again.